Los Angeles is my home. Had a fair share of heartbreaks, made way too many mistakes, but lost.
Mikaelinho here with another episode in our Angels rebuild series. Last time when I left you, we had started off magnificently, but then started to decline. 44 wins and 40 losses. It isn't too bad, but we were way ahead of Seattle Mariners. Now we are 3 games behind. And we will get through more of the season today. Before we get there, it's time for the draft. We have the 24th pick, and I will just simulate up to that point to see what is actually left. If we look at the mock draft, we are predicted to get third baseman Jason Jones, subpar contact, okay gap power potential, okay home run power potential, okay defenseman at third base. Bit underwhelming, a bit unfun, but we will see what's left. Predicted to go first, Drew Jones. Bit of subpar contact as well. Decent gap power, home run power, and discipline. Looks like he could be one hell of a defenseman at center field. Predicted to go first from Wesleyan, Suwanee, Georgia. And if we look at the ratings from our scouts, Klein, Drew Jones is the only one who reaches a potential of more than 3 stars. And this is the thing about the new versions of OOTP, that the players don't display that high of a potential when they come through the draft, but many of them will improve their potential going forward. So only having one player with a potential over 3 doesn't mean that no one will reach the major league. On the other hand, many of these players will increase their potential and get better as time goes. We're auto drafting until our pick, and these are the 2.5-star guys that are left. Brent Borkum, I think you say Borkum, Tucker Biven, Bryce Dolby, Brandon Forrester, Ethan Hott, Jason Jones, who were predicted to go to us, Titan Kamaka, I'm going to call him Titan, Mike Romero, Gabe Springer, Logan Wagner are the 2.5-star guys, but there are also a couple of starting pitchers at 2 stars, so we will look through them and then make a decision. If we look at batting potential, then Jason Jones, the guy who was predicted to go to us, is actually the one with the most well-rounded potential. In yellows means that his potential is between 40 and 60, which it is for contact, gap, power, and eye. And maybe he's the guy to go for. We're going to check the starting pitches as well to see what the pitching potential is like. And the reason why I'm looking at all players and not just pitchers is that you can sometimes find a decent pitcher within the guys that are listed as batters. Like this guy, Tucker Biven, listed as a shortstop, but actually has a decent pitching potential. And there's not a pitcher that really catches my eye except for this guy, Gavin Van Kempen, stuff 71, control 40. He could maybe turn into decent relief pitcher. Could develop a 4-pitch toolbox. Decent fastball, lacks a bit of velocity, but it's one mean changeup. And I'm going to go with Jason Jones, the one we were predicted to pick. And for our second choice, there are less good potential guys left, of course. And I think this guy, despite being unexciting, is probably the one we're going to pick. He is impossible though, which makes me look further down the list. Our scouts want us to pick Gabrionis, a decent catcher, and that's what we are going to go with. The third pick is Nick Dugan. Decent velocity to his pitches, okay stamina. Hopefully he will improve all his pitching ratings going forward, but he's the guy we're taking. We're going to go with this guy, Gavin Guitry. He's listed as a shortstop, but look at his pitching potential. Could develop a good fastball, good curveball, good changeup, decent stuff, good stamina. This is the guy we are going with. Justin Alentop, another pitcher, comes in. That's our 5th pick. Seth Ball 6th. Anthony Bois 7th. I'm just going pitchers. Breck Eichelberger, what kind of name is that? Comes from UCLA. Get in the program. Drew Hill in the 9th round. And Miguel Obeso, another starting pitcher, as the round 10 pick. That's all I'm going to show you now. I will see you back for another couple of games pretty soon. But these are the draftees we're going to try to negotiate with, get them in. Jason Jones, Nick Dugan and Gavin Guitry, they are extremely hard, while Gabe Briones and Justin Alentop are very easy. But in my experience, we are going to get all of these guys in. If they're not impossible, then they are going to sign. I will sim up until the trading deadline to see where we're at. Are we in the running to reach the postseason? If we are, then maybe we need to trade up. If we're not, then maybe we need to trade for value. See you in a couple of weeks. We reached the trade deadline and we are still very much in the running. Half a game behind Seattle Mariners, 3 games ahead of Houston Astros. Bit behind in the wildcard race, so we'll probably need to win our division if we are going to get to the playoffs. If we look at player performances so far, Jared Walsh is still our #1 performer when it comes to batting. 24 home runs, 301 average. Mike Trout just behind him, starting to pick up speed. 288 average, 19 home runs. 17 home runs from Jose Rojas and Max Stassi, and 16 from Brandon Marsh. I do want to call him Brandon Walsh, the old Beverly Hills star. When it comes to pitching, Griffin Canning has been our best performer so far. 7 wins, 4 losses, 3.49 ERA. Blake Snell has struggled together with Dylan Bundy. We have been good offensively, but when it comes to starters ERA, we are in 6th, and bullpen ERA, we're even worse. We have been atrocious defensively though, which is maybe our biggest issue. See if we can trade up on trade deadline day. If we look at the trading block, Max Scherzer is available. 38 years old, so maybe not an option for us. 10.7 million contract for the rest of the season. Amazing stuff. Fantastic fastball. The change up by me. Fastball is kind of weak. Could be someone to sign for. Not sure. Would strengthen us short term, but not long term. This is a rebuild, so I'm not that eager to get expensive older players in. Mike Minor, great stuff. Great knuckle curve. Good circle change, slider, and fastball. He has put up an ERA of 4.85 this season for Kansas City. Could probably improve our starting rotation, but not by a lot. Ray Turner, though, is maybe a potential guy to bring in. 23 million, though. I'm not sure how much they would want in exchange for him. The Blue Jays. He's had 10 home runs this season, 291 average. He is decent defensively at second base and shortstop. 2 positions where we are not exceptional this season, to put it lightly. Maybe see what they want. So they only want minor league relief pitcher Jose Suarez, and I think this is a deal we are going to make. It doesn't strengthen us long term if we don't extend him, but it does strengthen us short term. and I want to try and see if we can make a push this season. We're also going to try to go for Max Scherzer. This is short term, but it's only for a season. 10 million, I think he's worth that. So they just want to release cap space. A very poor relief pitcher from our minors. That's all they want, and that's a deal that we are going to make. I'm also considering whether to bring in Sir DD for this season. He has a 310 average, 25 home runs so far for the Phillies. He is very good defensively, could strengthen us both at the third base and shortstop position. We have Jose Rojas at third base, he's been good. And we have David Fletcher at the shortstop position, and he hasn't been that good. In comes Sadidi, out goes Julio de la Cruz, another minor leaguer who will never make it in the major league. We also get Matt Barnes in. I bet pretty much for nothing as a relief pitcher. Great stuff, great fastball, good curveball, decent splitter. Could come in as a middle reliever. And just like with the rest of them, we don't have to give away anything basically. So 4 deals made on trade deadline day. Trey Turner, Max Scherzer, Didi Gregorius, Sir DD, and Matt Barnes. These deals do straighten us. Trey Turner and Didi Gregorius go into the lineup at first and 8th. Now we have Turner, Fletcher, Walsh, Trout, Joy, March, Stassi, and Gregorius. They feel stronger. And when it comes to pitching, Max Scherzer comes in as number 2 in the starting rotation, pushing Bundy out of there, which is good because he hasn't been good for us. Matt Barnes comes in as a middle reliever as well. So I have high hopes going forward, even though this doesn't strengthen us in the long run. I wouldn't mind doing them because I didn't have to give up any talent whatsoever. And now I'm really excited about the rest of this season. I'm going to leave you there, and then for the next episode we are going to do the rest of the season up until the playoff. I think we could make a playoff push. We're not too far behind, half a game behind Seattle Mariners. Now I really want to make a push to see if we can reach postseason, give Mike Trout a postseason run. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.
Is my home. Had a fair share of heartbreaks, made way too many mistakes, but Los Angeles is my